Today we ended up having a pretty typical spring day, at least for most of the region. Temperatures were a few degrees down from what's normal this time of year as we wrap up the month of May, but we still saw 70s across the board for the Treasure Valley. Same for the Western Magic Valley. These are the observed high temperatures of the day. 50s for places like McCall and Stanley. Stanley saw a little bit of that active weather with a few isolated storms getting close to it, just as we looked at on satellite and radar a few minutes ago. Things are already pretty much dying down though for our central mountains, which is in our viewing region. There is some action still going on in East Idaho, not in our direct viewing area, but still some pockets of heavy rain. It will continue to shift east overnight with the core of that system that's currently over Wyoming and going to move into Montana overnight. Tomorrow, as that low continues to exit, this is now Sunday, 6:30 p.m. You can see it's possible a few showers sneak their way back into the central mountains. Again, most of the region should be untouched, but if you are interested, we do have live radar available 24/7. You can scan the QR code, stream it at any time on your TV or your phone. Just a really helpful resource when it comes to seeing what is happening in real time outside. Now tomorrow, high temperatures will be very similar to what we saw today. Could still be a little breezier in the Western Magic Valley, places like Shoshone, Twin Falls, seeing those gusty afternoon winds, but temperatures in the low to mid 70s, very pleasant on the temperature front. Central Mountains looking a little further north. Remember, they could see maybe a spot shower or two sneak their way into the mountains, but for the most part, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the 60s for those afternoon highs. Same goes for the West Central Mountains. A couple spots like Garden Valley and Council could reach the low 70s, which is pretty typical for those areas to be just a little bit warmer than the higher elevations in the mountain areas as well. Lower Treasure Valley, Upper Treasure Valley, looking at the mid 70s for the most part. A couple spots could be pushing into the upper 70s. Now tonight, we know we dealt with those windy conditions earlier today. These will continue to decrease overnight. By tomorrow, it could be a little breezy. Shouldn't be anything similar to what we saw today or earlier this week when we had really severe winds. It looks like Sunday afternoon, from Mountain Home through the Western Magic Valley will be some of the breezier areas. Again, not damaging winds, but nuisance level winds. Next week, for the first work week of June, we will have high pressure building into the region for several days through about midweek. That's going to bring in that southwesterly flow, which is typically warmer air, and that warm up is pretty obvious in our temperatures looking at this 7-day forecast. Sunny and maybe breezy tomorrow afternoon for Boise, but temperatures will be very nice, very similar to what we saw today. By Monday, we're looking very close to what's normal for this time of year. The warm up really comes on Tuesday. Wednesday, we see the upper 80s, briefly cool on Thursday, but then warming back up into the next weekend. We'll be right back after a quick break.